Good evening. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the oil and gas industry by presenting the Ohio Oilfield Patriot Award. We at Producer Service Corporation are proud to have been the sponsors of this prestigious award since the first presentation in 2006. It is very difficult to choose just one person for this award, but this recipient has made great efforts to protect, promote, and advance the common interests of those engaged in all aspects of our industry. Their service and actions continue to make the Ohio Oil Patch the best in the country. This evening, the award will be given to an individual who has been an advocate for the Ohio oil and gas industry. Their work ethic, honesty, and integrity have led to better exploration, development, and production of the natural resources found in our great state. The vision and leadership they have demonstrated will be recognized tonight. Congratulations to this year's recipient of the Ohio Oilfield Patriot Award for their distinguished service.
We've known Don and Pam, my wife and I, for well over 30 years, and I've been extremely blessed to be a part of their lives and they be a part of our lives.
I first met Don when he was studying petroleum engineering at Marietta College back in the mid-'80s. I worked for a consulting firm, Templeton Associates, so we hired Don in the afternoons, and so I was always pulling him out of class and saying, hey, you'll never learn that much at Marietta College. Why don't you just come with me and learn something? So he always says he would have did better in college if I hadn't made him miss so many classes.
Very early in my career at Prestonsburg, Kentucky, we're blasting up this lease road, and I believe it was his old Ford company Bronco. And I'll never forget it. I'm in the passenger seat. I'm a field engineer, just hired on. And Don's hammer down in the Ford Bronco, and he turns and he looks at me and he says, can you believe they pay us to do this kind of stuff? So the thing he really taught me early was your attitude is a big part of who you are and how people perceive you.
One of the best pieces of advice Don has ever given me, and I truly believe this, you have to do things in person through interaction. You know, you look people in the eye, and that's the best way to conduct your business.
I've known Don Huck for several years. Just all-around great guy. He's seems to be everywhere that the issues are, and he's always fighting for the industry.
Don has a long time of benefiting the oil and gas industry, even outside of Ohio. He spent a lot of time working in the southern part of the Appalachian Basin in Kentucky and West Virginia. And then over the last 15 years or so, he's been very active with the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association and with the Ohio Oil and Gas Association.
The other story I'd like to share about Don, and this was also in Prestonsburg, Kentucky. Don was taking a 2x2 hammer valve out of a cabinet. The thing slipped, he dropped it on his foot, and he did not have his steel toe boots on. Don Huck bit the bullet, slipped his boot back on, got in the truck, went on the frack job, did the entire job in excruciating pain. Most people would have taken a week off if something like that happened, but that's just a glimpse into the integrity and toughness of a guy like Don that we got that job done.
Oh, his best personality trait is persistence.
His tenaciousness.
He has a very strong work ethic.
He's extremely driven.
Determined.
He's very passionate about the industry.
He doesn't enjoy the same physical stature that I do, and so he works harder.
He brings a passion like I've never seen.
He drives things to closure.
He's willing to go the long distance.
He's a copious note taker as well.
He's very analytical.
Very diplomatic.
He wants to get a result that everybody can live with.
Don's just a good guy who works hard and enjoys himself.
And you got to be professional, but you also got to have fun.
Serious but light.
He's easygoing, laid back. I've never seen him in a bad mood.
In fact, he's the unofficial recipient of the Suga Eternal Optimist Award.
Don is very optimistic.
He always believes everything's going to work out.
I think Don Huck is one of the more positive, upbeat people that I've met in my professional career.
He will always be the one that folks will gravitate to say, you know what, it is possible. Let's just put our head down and work through this issue.
He is always ready to raise his hand and pitch in and do what needs to be done.
He would be like a dog on a bone, and he would figure out what the issue was with the well or the job or whatever it was.
He gets things done, and he makes sure they're done right.
And that's just the way he is.
Anything else is really not an option to him.
I think it's a great family upbringing.
A guy like Don Huck is a reflection, number one, of where he comes from. The integrity that was taught to him, the work ethic.
He just absolutely is not afraid to go and fight for the industry. It's not about his individual needs, it's about the industry needs.
He loves the people in the industry, and he wants to be a positive force.
Don was always very active in the local SPE and the local organizations, and he did that in Eastern Kentucky. He did that the entire time he was living in the Charleston, West Virginia area. When he came into Ohio and came to work for Artex, I know he has spent countless hours contributing to the local oil and gas associations.
Don's been president of SUGA. Just recently, Don was named by the TAC to sit on the UJEEP operating committee. He's been there now just about a month, and we've already named him chairman of the education program. He raised his hand, and he's going full blast now, helping us educate young people about our oil and gas industry.
Don Huck is a great example of that famous John Paul Getty quote, "Rise early, work late, and find oil." He's the hardest working guy I've ever seen in my life. His love for the industry is unsurpassed, and if you need analysis, he's the guy for you.
And he's generated boxes worth of materials documenting every idle and orphan well that's possible in the state of Ohio.
All of the inventory that he's looked at, the data, the numbers that he has behind all of that, and not just identifying potential orphan wells out there, but putting a price tag on it.
He really has taken it to the next level. No one asked him to do that. He just went and did that because it was the right thing to do, because he needed the data to tell the story that needed to be told.
His message has been so clear, and the research that he has done has just been, so unbelievable that people are starting to listen to the issue now.
Ohio could be put on the national stage as the poster child of how to handle these idle and orphan wells across the United States.
It's an extremely useful tool when you're engaging with policymakers to really paint a picture of the challenges that Ohio has, like other historic oil and gas producing states.
With his work, they are believing truly there is an issue. He's quantifying the issue, and he's preserving the Idle and Orphan Well Fund.
The work that man has done on the Idle and Orphan Well program alone qualifies him to earn this great award. And that's just one of the many things that Don Huck has done for the Ohio oil and gas industry.
The definition of a patriot is somebody who goes above and beyond for the love of his country. And I think Don has went above and beyond for the love of the oil and gas industry and all the volunteer hours over the years that he's been involved.
I believe he is a true patriot and a warrior for our cause. There's nobody more fitting, I believe, than him to be able to receive this award as a show and a sign of our appreciation.
What he has done over the last couple of years, the engagement with ODNR and the education with people across the board, I think he's very much deserves the Oilfield Patriot Award.
He is very deserving of this award, a wonderful representation of how the rest of us should try to model our lives when it comes to family, work, integrity.
Don, congratulations on receiving the Patriot Award. I know you'll feel like you don't deserve it, but let me assure you, you do.
You've done a lot for the Ohio oil and gas industry and the entire oil and gas industry in the Appalachian. Congratulations. This is recognition of all your hard work.
Hey Dad, congratulations on your major award. We are super excited for you. I know that your hard work and dedication to this field has always been very obvious to me growing up. It's something that you have always instilled in me, just the value of that. I even remember just way back when you would come home from work, you'd pull out your laptop, you'd had all these pictures and graphs and were always ready to show me where the flare might be. And while growing up, I had no idea what you were talking about. Your enthusiasm enthusiasm always made me very excited. So again, it's always been apparent to me just how much your work means to you, and because of that, you've been able to instill those values and hard work and dedication in me. Because of that, I've been able to use that throughout my entire life, my job, and so I'm very, very grateful that you were always able to role model that for me, and I know that everyone around you has always appreciated that in you as well. So this award is certainly deserving, but not at all surprising, and congratulations again. We're really, really excited for you.
Please accept this award with our sincere gratitude and appreciation. You truly deserve it.
Congratulations on the Patriot Award.
Don, congratulations on joining the Ohio Oilfield Patriot Award Club. It's wonderful to have you in there. Your efforts on behalf of the industry are amazing.
Congratulations. You deserve this. It couldn't have gone to a better person.
Congratulations, Don, on being the recipient of the Oilfield Patriot Award. Well done.
I'm proud to be able to call you my friend, and I can only imagine how proud your mother and father are of you. Job well done.
Congratulations, Don. You deserve this more than I can say, and we're proud of you.
I just know with all the work that you've done, you'll continue to do, you are a true patriot. Thank you.
Don, congratulations. Much deserved on winning this Patriot Award, and may God continue to bless you and your family.
Hi, Don. Surprise! When asked to do this, my first thoughts were of when we met in the little town of Prestonsburg, and we became neighbors side by side in the little apartment complex. And I can remember coming home from work late in the evening, and I would hear, as I got to the top of the steps, the TV blaring into the hallway, lights coming from your door, and I would think, so I would tiptoe over, thinking I might say hi, and saw that you were sound asleep on the couch. So I would lock your door and think, wow, he must have had a rough week. So then, as I talked to you and got to know you a little better, I remember how much you loved your job. You were passionate about it. You loved your company. It was the best thing in your life. And I remember thinking, wow, how can a guy love a job so much when he barely eats, he sleeps what little bit of time he can, he seems exhausted, and he's hardly ever home. And I thought, wow, he is the hardest working guy I know. So through the years, I have got to witness that same thing many, many times in your life. You have always loved every company you've worked for. You've loved and had a passion for the oil and gas industry like no other. You think in terms of everything that can encompass the world of oil and gas. And you never fail to stand strong for the oil and gas industry. I have appreciated your hard work, your determination, and I really still can say that I believe you are one of the hardest working guys I know. And I am so proud of you, and I am so happy to be able to say congratulations on this award. And I feel you deserve it. Thanks for everything, Don. Thanks for your support, your dedication to the oil and gas industry.